Hello student, so it's nice to see you again in our class today. This is a globalization era. You meet you meet many people from different cultures regularly. Maybe not only physically, but maybe online, right? Have you ever had any problems with them? Have you ever encountered problems because of the cultural difference? Maybe you have, right? Because that is what we are going to study this week. We are going to study about cultural conflict. What can cause cultural conflict and how do we settle with that? Okay, so please keep on watching because after this we are going to learn together about the cultural conflict. So this is the cause of cultural conflict. So cultural conflict occurs as a result of ethnocentrism, misinterpretation, and stereotype. Ethnocentrism often entails the belief that one's own race or ethnic group is the most important, or that some or all aspects of its culture are superior to those of other groups. And misinterpretation happens because people fail to interpret the verbal and non-verbal communication correctly. So it happens not only when we are doing the cultural contact, okay? Maybe in the daily life we always encounter with misinterpretation. Maybe I couldn't hear you right, and what I heard was wrong. It can cause it can cause conflict between us. It's maybe not a major conflict, it can be misunderstanding ones, okay? And the next one is stereotypes, which is generalization of people or a group based on past experiences, which are deep rooted in the psyche of the people. So for example, I have ever met a guy from Russia, and my perspective about all the Russian people, I based on that guy, on that simple guy, which of course is the wrong thing to do, but it is already it's already deep rooted in my mind, in my subconscious feeling, that I will think, oh, all Russian will be like that, or all Iranian will be like that, only based on few people that I know. That is so unfair, because people have different feeling, people have different set of mind, and they will react differently to a problem. They will make different behavior. So these are what we have to do if we deal with cultural conflict. Maybe you are the one who are subjected to upsetting or offensive behavior, or you witness yourself such a thing happening to someone else. Clearly, firmly and simply state that the behavior is upsetting. So you have to be firm. You have to tell them, I'm sorry, but I don't like the way you act just now. Something like that, if that behavior really annoys you. For example, in some countries it's okay to sing after 9 p.m. But if someone sing in Indonesia after 9 p.m., they will disturb the quality of sleeping to the local people. So maybe you are one of the people they disturb. So you step up as a person, you tell the person, I'm sorry, but the culture here, we usually rest after 9 p.m. So if you sing very loudly, it can disturb us. Something like that. You have to speak out your mind. And then the second, if the behavior is offensive but not threatening or aggressive, whether the person apologizes or says nothing, let it go for the first time. So you have to be very forgiveful if it is just the first time, to avoid the cultural conflict. Not everyone is in their fit stamina to accept some criticism, right? So if it is just the first time and you want to you are able to forgive that because it is not threatening, it is not too aggressive, then you can just let it pass for the first time. Maybe they behave the way they do, it's just because they are tired, maybe they have a situation. But if the behavior repeated again for the second time, third time, you can go to the first rules, telling them, step up and speak up. The third one, if the behavior is threatening or aggressive, or if the offensive behavior reoccurs, tell someone and follow the guidelines. Okay, so if you are feeling uncomfortable to face them yourself, you can tell someone else. For example, you are in the you say you are in one country. Okay, you are, for example, you are people from China, and there is this American friend come to your house with his or her shoes on. Okay, say that it is a man with his shoes on, and you don't feel nice telling them, but they have done that, and for you it is threatening, maybe because you have to mop the floor after they leave, something like that. Then you can tell their friends, you can tell his friend to tell them to stop doing that, something like that. Or maybe that is not threatening, yeah. Maybe for if there is like aggressive behavior and done by other people from other culture, you can tell someone to stop it. You can ask help of anyone in charge to stop the behavior. Now we go to the fourth one. If we feel unable to confront the situation directly, or if we are unsure about whether or not to act upon something promptly, discuss the issue with someone such as a friend, colleague, supervisor, employee advisor, or counselor. This is what I already explained to you. Don't be afraid to ask for an advice. And then the last one, no matter who is involved in the negative interaction, whether the offensive behavior is directed at us or we witness it happen to someone else, it is important that some action is taken promptly. So don't let bad behavior affecting the way you look at one whole culture. Okay, don't let the behavior of one person affecting the way you look at the whole community of that culture, something like that. So you have to take action if that happens. So these are some picture of national conflict. Have you ever seen this? This is the tragedy of Sampit. Tragedy of I'm so sorry, my mistake. Tragedi berdarah Sampit. So it is Dayak versus Madura. Have you ever seen that? Do you know what happened in that? Or what do you know about the tragedy? Okay, so please make a paper about this national conflict. What happened in that? And then this is international conflict. This is, do you know what happened before I explain? Where is this picture from? This picture is from Bosnia and Herzegovina. So what happened here? That is your job to find out. Okay, so please make a paper based on national conflict and international conflict. And then this is self-assessment. This is in different, you have to submit it in different text. This is a Microsoft Word. You can submit it in the form of Microsoft Word. Like, have you ever encountered cultural conflict? What would you do if you are caught in cultural conflict? Or do you know any example of cultural conflict? Explain it. Okay, do the assessment, and I will see you again next week. Thank you very much.